Hi everyone, I'm Aliyah Funschelle. Welcome to The Matchup, where we put two people together who you might not expect. Old friends, new acquaintances, or total strangers. Today on the show, we have two women changing the way that we look at extreme sports. First, we have two-time X Games gold medalist and member of the inaugural USA Olympic skateboarding team, Mariah Duran. And with her today, we have the 2025 WSL Rookie of the Year, the 2024 Fiji Pro winner, and the first Canadian to qualify for the World Surf League Championship Tour, Erin Brooks. Mariah, Erin, welcome to The Matchup. I am so excited you two are joining me today. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
So I'm so excited just to talk to both of you about your sports and where they intersect. I am curious, though, have either of you two tried each other's sports, surfing or skateboarding?
I've never tried surfing. I've snowboarded, but I haven't done surfing.
I've skateboarded a lot, actually. I use it as one of my cross training, and one of my good friends is Sky Brown. So whenever we're both home, we love to go to the skate park.
So, Erin, how has skateboarding helped you with surfing? Like, is it something you just do for fun, or are there transferable skills that you've brought into surfing?
I feel like you can kind of transfer the airs into the water. I mean, with the skate park, you're getting the same section over and over again, the same bowl. So it's really nice to practice that rotation or straighter, or even just your grabs. I mean, it's obviously a little bit different, but it gets the idea in your head.
So I'm very unfamiliar with the two sports. And that's why I'm glad you two are on to kind of help teach me and teach the audience more about your sport and all the little intricacies that come of it. Mariah, I'm curious, how do you train for skateboarding? Like, what's an average like training week schedule look like for you? And then Erin, once she answers, I'd love to know if like that's also similar for your board sport.
I mean, yeah, for me, like, I feel like I just try to stay on the board as much as possible. I also do like I'm in street skating. So like I will skate parks to kind of like drill in like a trick, get it consistent, not let it be as scary when I try it. But then I also like take it to the streets to like challenge myself to see if I really have it. And that works out for me because I can like try to get like a video or a photo in the magazine. So it's like they kind of balance each other out. So like a typical week for me would probably be like a few days at the skate park, kind of just getting the legs going. And then probably like towards the afternoons of those days, like probably like try to go to one street spot, try to get something. But the main thing is like staying on the board the whole time. And then having a few days of recovery because it's like pretty hard on the body, but it's usually kind of something like that for like a week. And it's like 3 days out of the week, I'll probably like do really like a lot of skating. And then I'll train at the gym for 2 days of the week. So that's like, we're at 5 days. And then the last 2 days are kind of like, if I want to keep skating, I can do it. Or if I need to take rest days, I'll do that. So I kind of just go week by week to see how I am.
Erin, what about you? What does a training week look like for you?
Well, it really depends on how the conditions are. I mean, we're going against Mother Nature. Mother Nature. So the ocean's always changing. But I try to surf at least 4 to 6 hours every day and get some time in the gym as well and make sure I do some good recovery, whether that's sauna, ice bath, or a good stretching routine. And also get in some time with my family too.
Yeah, something that I think is like so crazy about both of your sports is the balance aspect of what you do, because I did rowing and the balance is huge because any slight movement of your hands, the boat could like rock the other way. And sometimes I think balance is sometimes a skill that you're either born with or you have to train a lot to be able to keep your balance. So Mariah, I'll start with you. Were you naturally just like good at balance, or is it something that you had to really learn how to craft?
I would say I was like maybe more naturally like an athlete first. I think I had like the discipline of that. Like I did sports all my life, like through like all like school. So like I did a lot of sports and I felt like that kind of like helped me with my skating when it was introduced to me. It was kind of hard at first, but I feel like using like the other sports that I have played kind of helped me like figure out it. Like I feel like I was naturally maybe pretty balanced, but like also balance is just like the very first step of it. So like after that, I started like pushing myself more to learn tricks and all that stuff.
I actually grew up doing gymnastics, so I had pretty good balance when I went into surfing. I kind of started later. Everyone who normally starts, they start on the tip of their dad's board when they're like 3 or 4 years old, but I already had that balance, so I feel like it helped me progress faster.
Yeah, that's so interesting too about your journey is I think you said you started at 9 years old surfing. Is that correct? So what made you want to start surfing when there are so many other less scary sports out there? What drew you to surfing?
Well, I had been living in Hawaii, and it's just something that everyone does there. Everyone's always at the beach, and I got invited by one of my friends, and I just thought it was so fun getting to be able to go in the ocean every day and just enjoy it. And now, like as a professional, getting to travel the world to do what I love.
Did you ever feel some sort of not imposter syndrome, but kind of something similar where you're like, okay, everyone has so many years on me, I have to really catch up? Did you ever feel that, or did it just fuel you to train even harder?
I think it definitely fueled me up. I mean, I'm a super competitive person, so I just wanted to be the best that I could be. And there was some times where like I'd feel like a little lost out there, especially when I started being in Hawaii. There's like a little bit of like localism, and people are kind of like, what are you doing out here? A little bit, but then I like progressed fast, and then I think I earned their respect, which is good.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like, I mean, I'm the biggest women's sports fan, and I feel like there's always that pressure on every female athlete about having to prove themselves even more. And Mariah, for you, I've listened to a few of the podcasts you've been on and talking about when you were growing up in this sport, there might have been maybe 5 women before that came before you. So how do you deal with that pressure of not only are you trying to prove that women belong in the sport, but you have all these younger girls looking up to you now?
I mean, yeah, like going off of what you said, like there wasn't that many like female street skaters at the time. Like I could count them on my hand. And but it really didn't change my love for skateboarding. I kind of just picked it up and I was like, this is awesome. Also, I had 2 brothers that skated too, so I was kind of keeping up with them. And at the end of the day, like when I stepped on a board, I just felt like a skater. You know, I didn't really feel like, oh, like I'm like the only girl or whatever. Like I was the only girl at the skate park, but at the end of the day, I was like getting better and better, and I just wanted to get good. So like, I think that kind of drove me a little bit more to just progress myself to a like a professional level. And then like, I mean, I guess the younger generation too, like I think it's really cool. They're really pushing the barrier now, you know? So it's like, but I also think it's because they've been able to see a lot more women be successful in it. So it's just like more common. Like for me, I like trying to explain to my mom that I wanted to be a skater at the time. She was like, I don't know if that's gonna like, you know, like be good, because there was like no like Olympics or anything like that at the time. It was kind of like roll of the dice. And I mean, I'm glad that the dice were in my favor. So
Yeah.
Here I am today.
Well, and you're very humble because you are one of the skaters that really helped push the sport forward in terms of compensation, media, just all the attention on it. So when it comes to other extreme sports, like you see surfing is having a big come up, like what pieces of advice would you give other either niche or extreme sports to really move the needle forward?
I mean, honestly, I think like if everybody just focuses on being their best self, they'll bring something to the table. I feel like everybody has something to offer. Every sport is still growing, like skateboarding and surfing and all those other sports. So I feel like if you just really focus on being the best that you can be, I think that you will bring something new to the table, which will progress everything else.
And Erin, you are, you know, such a young phenomenon and rookie of the year. So shout out to you. That's amazing. But when you were, you know, you're still so early into this sport. So when you were, you know, on your come up, were there people in surfing that you looked up to, whether it was the way that they're growing the sport, like the things that they do off the board or out of the sport in competition?
Mm-hmm. I definitely looked up to Stephanie Gilmore and Carissa Moore. In my opinion, they're the greatest of all time for our women's side. They definitely pushed the barrier and paved the way for us younger girls. And the things that they do are so amazing, but they're also like their kindness on land that they show to everyone is more important to me than any type of surfing that they could do in the water.
Exactly. And how do you balance, schoolwork and everything else, and then also you're training all the time, and also on top of that, you are such a prominent face of surfing, especially for the younger generation. So what's your work-life balance like? How do you get it all done?
hmm I did online school since I was in fourth grade, but I actually graduated pretty early when I was like 17, I think. So that really helped me to have more time in the water and time in the gym. And then in between sessions or meal times at night, I'd be able to do my schoolwork. But yeah, it was nice having it just being on my computer instead of having to go into school. But it was super important for me to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I would love to talk about both of your sports have in common having their Olympic debut in the 2020 Olympics / 2021. So how does it feel to be part of a sport that is now becoming more mainstream? Mariah, I can kick it off to you first because, I mean, it's so cool to see it on the Olympic stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where if they don't really know much about like skating, I guess, or surfing, if you like say like you're in the Olympics or competing for the Olympics, automatically people can register like, oh, they must be good, you know? So I feel like it's definitely helps people to kind of look a little bit more into everything. Yeah, I guess just puts more eyes on it and eventually could inspire people to like pick it up.
Yeah, like Mariah said, it's for surfing, I've definitely seen like a way bigger push in like so many different countries, which is amazing. We have our WSL, but also the ISAs where we qualify for the Olympics. And there's people who qualified last year in Paris from China, I'm pretty sure Israel. And I didn't even know that there was surfers from there. So like seeing like a worldwide like group of surfers is amazing.
The same could be said for you, surfing for Team Canada. I feel like a lot of people are like, wait, what? So what does it mean to you to be able to represent Canada on the, not just national scale, but international?
Mhm. It means so much. I mean, for me, I'm mostly just representing my family and all my loved ones who live in Canada. But I'm so honored to be the first Canadian to be on this CT, which is the highest level in surfing. And I have so many friends and fans that contact me all the time, and I love that support from them. So I'm really happy to represent them too.
And I feel like as both of your sports have become more mainstream or at least more watched with the Olympics and everything, is there a misconception about where people like think they understand something or they think it's one way, but it's really the other?
Kind of going, I feel like skateboarding in the Olympics, whenever like that in a sentence was crazy at a certain point because it's just, you know, completely different. It's kind of like the perspective of people seeing a skateboarder like before the Olympics was probably like, oh, like they're just, rowdy and just doing whatever and break the rules and stuff. Didn't really like find them as like athletes. But I think now, like, I mean, I feel like it still kind of is that, but it's not like as much. Like, I think it's a very individual sport. So it's like if you want to treat your body like as if it's an athlete to get to the highest level, to compete in the Olympics, you can do that for skateboarding, And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to as well and still like enjoy skateboarding. So I feel like maybe that's like the two-way street that kind of, gets talked about.
Yeah. What about you, Erin? Was there something that maybe you assumed about surfing before you started that then once you started surfing, you're like, oh, wait, I was very wrong about this. Like, this is way different than I expected.
I would say for competitions, you don't always see the best surfer going through their heats. Like they don't always get the win because like I said earlier, you're battling the ocean, which is so unpredictable. And the person who reads the ocean the best and gets the two best waves and however much time you have gets the win. And that's not always the best surfer. So I was a little confused about that. And that's happened to me myself. So reading the ocean is like a really big part of surfing. So you have to be good at that as well. And when I first started surfing, I like didn't know that at all.
Also, with both of your sports, it's crazy that so much is left up to interpretation of which judges you have scoring you, where it's not very like cut and dry where it's like, okay, in basketball, it's whoever scores the most points. But, you know, you could think you have your best performance and someone scoring it might think otherwise. So how do you navigate that? I mean, that must be a mental battle, having to leave like your fate basically in so much like opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go first. I've definitely realized that it's can be pretty subjective. You know, it's like when competing, you know, like you could do the same trick as somebody else, but sometimes they'll get a higher score or a lower score, or like, but it's like the same trick. But I guess that's when like style comes into play and all that stuff. So like, what kind of helps me, like, obviously you want to do your best. Obviously you want to land all your tricks. But it's also very important to set personal goals. So like, no matter what the results are, like you'll be good with the performance and you'll be able to like grow from it to like build for the next time, you know? Because it's kind of like you are like getting judged, but also you are putting yourself in a situation to get judged. So there has to be like a happy meeting point where you're like, okay, well, no matter what, I'm going to be happy with these results or these goals that I set for myself during this contest. And, you know, no matter what the score is, like, I'll be good. So I think that is very important to kind of, you know, protect yourself a little bit, because it could definitely get in your head. And I've been down that street before and it's just, you know, and I've been down the other street where, you know, you're like, you're positive coming out and you reached your goals that you wanted to reach personally. And I think it's just better to just do that.
Yeah, spoken like a true pro, but it's always like easier said than done when you're on this side of it now that you've grown. So back when a score might have like made you really mad or insecure, how did you push through that? And I feel like this is great since Erin is still so young, Miss Rookie of the Year. Like this would be great advice too, of just honestly for any young athlete in a subjective sport like this year.
I mean, everybody takes criticism I guess criticism differently. So I think since both of our sports are very individual, you kind of just have to go through it and you have to know that you're going to get through it. And so the next time you'll be able to go through it like in a better way. Like it won't affect you as much. But it is like a very individual thing. Like whatever like helps you get through it, like remember that and then build that on for like the next time. 'Cause it's like always going to happen, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Erin, how have you been navigating, you know, the scores not necessarily being in your hands?
It's always hard when things don't necessarily go your way, but I feel like when you go out there to compete, you can't really focus on like what the judges are thinking about. You just want to make sure that you put your best surfing out there and hopefully you'll get the win. But our sport, it's probably same. We have like a criteria where there's certain aspects that you're trying to hit on the wave. But like, yeah, sometimes it flip-flops. You think you got the higher score, but then they see something else in someone's wave where they thought that was better. So it's different.
For you, Erin, could you pinpoint a certain time where you felt like you were finally caught up and then accelerating? You know, I'm sure so many people when they interview you'll bring up like, oh, you started late. But when did you really feel like you quote unquote have made it or caught up and then progressed even further to what you were trying to catch up to?
Probably when I started competing, because since I started pretty late, I didn't start competing like professionally until I was like 14. So I wanted to make sure I had all of the tools that I would use in my competitions. And when I went to like those bigger contests, I was having like really good results. So that definitely made all the hard work and everything feel very worth it.
Do either of you two have any questions about each other's sport and how it could kind of help elevate your game?
Well, I'm from New Mexico, so I don't really know much about the ocean. But I guess, okay, I was thinking about this. If I was to start like surfing, do I need to get one of those bigger boards or since I'm like pretty good at skating and snowboarding, could I do the small board? What do you think?
Have you never surfed at all?
Yeah, never.
I feel like for your first session ever, having a board with more buoyancy would definitely help you. I bet your balance is incredible, so you'd probably drop down to a smaller board pretty quick. But I mean, navigating the wave and like making sure you get enough paddle power to like get into it is super, super important. And I feel like within the first session, you could drop down like super easy, but just like the first couple ways, you'd probably want to use it just to get comfortable.
Is that the bigger board? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Erin, do you need any skateboarding tips since you're, so well, you have already tried it, which is awesome.
Actually, something that she said earlier, like how everyone can do a kickflip, I cannot.
Can you do an ollie? Can you do an ollie?
I'm just like pretty scared of doing one, but and like, how do you like do all of those? Do you do like the rail tricks and everything?
Yeah.
How do you have like enough confidence to do that? I mean, practice probably, but like that looks so scary.
The rail tricks, I will say that might be, since you skate with Sky and you guys skate like the bowls and stuff, right? And can you like grind on the bowls and stuff? It's crazy because I feel like it's the same, what is it called? The same lock-in. Like it'll feel the same when you do it onto a rail. You just like aim for that when you ollie on. Like if you're doing like an axle style grind, you just kind of aim for that like cross lock. And then it should feel the same on like a flat rail and stuff. I definitely would start with flat rail. Kind of just like the basics. And like for kickflips, I would honestly practice in grass. Or like, I learned to practice it in grass. That way you're not moving. And then you'll kind of like be able to figure it out. And then after that, you can kind of just slowly progress yourself up for that. But kickflip was the hardest trick, I will say, to learn. But once you push through that one, all the other tricks were just like kind of faster.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you guys can trade services. You can train each other in each other's in the sports. I love it.
There we go.
No, Erin, your question, like the mental part of it. Well, it's so funny because you're literally in the ocean, which so many people are afraid of. So I feel like if you can get past that, you can really do anything. But Mariah, for you, like so much of both of your sports are that mental block of, it is scary because a lot of times in other sports that aren't these extreme sports, if you mess up, it's not a lot on the line. But the two of you, like there's so much on the line where even though you might trust yourself physically, what happens when you have a mental block of maybe not having the confidence to try something new or to execute something new in what you're doing? For me, it was kind of like, sometimes like some tricks can start becoming scary, especially if you've like slammed on it before or whatever. For a while, I was scared to skate rails. Nothing really bad has happened to me with them, knock on wood, but like I have had accidents where they're kind of scary and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this. But I think just kind of starting from just like, I don't know, what really helped me was like just comprehending each session with intention that I had. Like when I was scared to grind rails, I would just go to the skate park and do like 50 grinds on a flat rail. And then I'm like, okay, it should be the exact same thing when I like go on this down rail. I just gotta like trust it. And majority of the time, like the fear you create in your head is just imaginary. So I feel like when you really kind of just can learn to like consistently break that, you'll be able to like get over those things a little bit faster. That's just what's helped me before. Yeah, Erin, for you, like when you practice over and over something new, but then it's time for competition and you might be nervous to try to execute it in an official competition, how do you approach that?
I feel like all the tricks that we bring to our competitions, you had practiced them over and over again, so you'd be feeling pretty good when you do it. But I've definitely had some like errors and things that I've tried in the free surfs in practice where I've actually came out with some injuries. So I definitely am a little bit more cautious because I want to make sure when I'm competing, I get like my two locked in comfortable scores. And then if I like really need it, I'll go for it. But if not, I'll probably save it for when I do.
Definitely. And something that I actually love about this matchup is both of you guys have been described as very calm competitors, very even keel. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. And like, it's really cool because you guys have a similar approach to how you compete. So what goes into having this mindset of I can't get too high when it's really good, and I also can't get too down?
Nobody's perfect. You're definitely going to have ups and downs in your sport, but you just got to keep working. You can't ever stop. If you want to be the best, you got to wake up every day and go do what you love, push yourself to the limits, and just enjoy it because it's all fun and you're doing what you get to love at a high level and a high sport. So it's great.
For me, yeah, I mean, pretty much what Erin said. I kind of just, if you really love what you do, you're going to wake up and just want to get better at it and want to push yourself and progress. I feel like that definitely carries over when you go into competition because you probably work out the kinks right before, hopefully work out all the kinks right before you get there. And then if there are any other ones, that means you were just, meant to grow from those ones.
I would love to know, Mariah, I'll start with you on this one. Was there a time that you lost where it actually taught you something more than what winning the competition could have taught you?
For sure. I mean, it just comes with, competing and the whole thing. Yeah, there was a moment. I mean, there's been definitely a few moments. I would say the very first one was when I won my first gold medal at X Games. I won another one back to back in Sydney. And then the third time I lost, but I still had fun, which was crazy. I just obviously I don't think I landed all my tricks, but I was having the best time ever. But and that kind of just showed me that it's good when it's good, but also you need to make sure that you still can be happy even when it's not good, because I feel like those are what really kind of takes the pressure off, because you're not I have to win because this will validate me. You'll kind of get to a point where you're I feel validated regardless of that, and I'm gonna do my best, and if that gets me first place, that's awesome. If it doesn't, it's all good. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep rolling because you just love doing it.
Erin, was there a time where you maybe lost and might have been upset, but then you took a little token of knowledge away from it, and you're oh, I'm actually glad I went through this experience because it has made me so much better?
I feel like it was in my last contest, actually. I went against Stephanie Gilmore, who is the most winning in our sport on the female side, at her home break, Snapper Rocks. And I drew her in my first heat, and it was actually super, super close, but she ended up taking the win against me, but she went on to win the whole entire contest, and we have the same coach. So getting to watch her do that was such a monumental moment, and she crushed everyone. And it was she didn't have the best start to the year, but seeing her really break through at that spot definitely gave me inspiration, and getting to be around her and see how she prepared for everything was super cool. And I definitely took some lessons.
Mariah, soon these younger skateboarders are going to start saying this about you. That you might be their go, and they might be going against you.
It's already happened before. When I went to when I was on the bus for the Olympics, it was funny because all the younger girls were pulling up photos when they first met me, and it was the fan photos where we're just saying just taking photos, and I was oh my God, I've known you guys since forever. They all pulled out photos of it. It was so funny, but everybody was so cool.
No, that's awesome. And it's a testament to just how cool you are. I just think it's as someone from the outside looking in, people like you really put your sport on the map. And I just think that I don't even know if you know the impact you have, but I'm sure going against these younger girls being yeah, you're my goat, that must feel so crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So I'm going to have just a few more quick rapid fire type of questions for you too before we wrap it up. But first, I would love to know, Where is your favorite place that your sport has taken you?
You go first, Erin.
Okay. My favorite is probably Indonesia. There's just so many islands with so many amazing ways and has warm water and nice people, so it's pretty hard to beat.
That sounds fire. Mine probably was Dubai. We had a contest in Dubai. Like, I've been there like 3 times already, which is crazy, but yeah, like, it's just crazy scenery, crazy buildings. Would have never thought skateboarding would bring me here. Yeah, it was really cool to see and travel that way, like a long flight. So it's definitely worth it.
Well, speaking of long flights, both of your sports take you to crazy places. How do you pass time on a long flight? Are you a audiobook or read girl? Are you music, movies, sleep?
I love binging TV shows. I mean, my days are pretty busy when I'm like prepping for a contest, so I don't really get to do that. So I just love getting in all the TV and movies, but sometimes I'm pretty exhausted, so I will fall asleep.
Honestly, I'm right there with Erin. I love just downloading a bunch of episodes and then seeing if I could just crank through it, and then hopefully get on hopefully finish the season before the flight ends. Or sometimes the airplane movies will hit too, though. I think I feel like I get too emotional sometimes. I can't watch sad movies in the flight, because I think the last one I watched Coco, that Disney movie, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be chill, and I'm crying. Just tears are going down, and the stewardess is like, do you want something to drink? And I'm like, I'm good. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm just watching Coco. I thought it was going to be chill, but it wasn't.
That's so funny. I mean, with me, sometimes I'm afraid of picking a random movie that I've never seen, because I'm like, what if there's something inappropriate that I don't know is going to come? And then people are looking at your screen being like, what is this girl watching?
I'm definitely the person looking at everyone's screen for sure.
On the topic of watching things, do you tune into other sports? Are you a big sports fan outside of your own? Do you like to watch the WNBA, soccer, football? Or are you once I'm done competing in my sport, I'm tuned out?
I actually do love watching all of the other board sports, like surfing. I obviously love watching my competitors, but skateboarding and snowboarding, I think all the tricks that they do are so insane. And for snowboarding and skating too, hopefully one day I'd love to bring their tricks into what I do, all of the extra rotations and crazy grabs. But my dad's a really big basketball fan, and he was really psyching on Caitlin Clark and how amazing that she was doing. So we definitely watched some of her games.
Yeah, I watch basketball. I watch football. I watch a little bit of tennis. But I don't know. I like watching tennis too, because it's very entertaining. I just can't believe they're going for that as long as they do. Their tournaments are just but I'll watch series behind the scenes with them. I love watching that. I love watching how other athletes go through their trials and contests. Because I just really like to see the mentality, Yeah, I mean, I watch football too, because my brothers are super into football. Pretty much whatever's on the screen, I'll probably watch it.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. No, speaking of athletes getting into the right mindset. So my older brother was a wrestler, which is just so interesting to me. Because that also is a sport where you can really psych yourself out. And one of the best wrestlers on the team would listen to classical music right before he'd get on the mat. He'd have these big headphones, and he'd be like this, and it's classical music. So I would love to know, for you two, what are you either listening to, or how are you getting in the right mindset right before you compete? Erin, I'll start with you again.
I don't listen to music right before I paddle out, because I feel I'd get too amped, and I kind of want to be pretty calm as I'm going out. But in the car driving there, I either listen to rock, or I've been really loving Tate McRae. She really hypes me up, makes me feel like I'm just gonna go out there and be an it girl almost.
She needs
she really
to link
gives
up
that
with
energy.
You. Yeah,
oh my
she's
gosh.
Canadian, so she needs to
I know. We need to make this happen.
Exactly. Manifesting that for you. What about you, Mariah?
Yeah. Me, I mean, I guess I'm fortunate enough I could skate with my headphones. I guess it wouldn't really work in the water for you, but I like to sometimes I like to listen to music while I'm skating or competing because it kind of like quiets the thoughts a little bit. And as far as the music, it really just depends on the environment. Like if I'm feeling, I don't know, super anxious or whatever, I'll probably just throw like a 2000s playlist R&B on or something like that just to take me back. Yeah, I mean, something to just like take me back to like, you know, when I fell in love with skating. So I'm not like too like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not that deep really, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get like super hype music. Been listening to like Lil Sims a lot. But yeah, like it really just depends. Or sometimes I'll just have my headphones on and no music. But it just seems like I'm listening to something because it's like,
yeah,
no one really bothers you.
No, it's
kind of nice. Yeah.
I have a playlist of the early 2000s pop punk, which actually reminds me of skateboarders, but I titled it "It's Not a Phase, Mom," because it's like that, like the emo, like,
there we go,
early 2000s.
Yes.
But I have a few more. So I would love to know what's on your guys' For You page, because I love asking other athletes that, because sometimes it's stuff you would never guess. Like I asked Brianna Stewart that one time and she goes, "Oh, a bunch of ASMR." And I'm like, I would have never expected that from my goat. Like, but yeah, what, when you're scrolling, is it a lot of your own sport and like videos, or is it something completely unrelated?
I feel like mine is completely unrelated. I feel like whenever I go on, like, I don't really go on Instagram. I only use that for like posting and stuff, but I do scroll on TikTok and I definitely get sucked down the rabbit hole. But I feel like it's more like just like normal teen stuff, like get ready with these, or
Yes.
cooking videos, vlogs, those types of videos. But it's kind of where I can just not think, just scroll, which is not good for my screen time.
Do you make videos like that? I feel like you could be like the Alex Earl of surfing.
Oh, I do, but I haven't had the confidence yet to post them. I'm normally just like send them to my family.
Girl, I would eat those up. You should post them.
I'll think about it. It has to be like really like getting people's attention like that. So I got to work on my editing skills.
No, you got this. I would be tuned in.
My For You page, it's actually funny because it's like a mixture with like home renovations and like just like golf, because I've been learning how to golf. I've been golfing a lot, actually.
Me too.
So it's been a lot of like trick tips on like how not to slice, or like this is what you need to do to fix your whatever. And it's been fun though. It's been a fun journey. It reminds me a lot of skating too. It's like you just go out on the course and you just get lost. You don't know what time it is. Just like doing whatever.
I need to learn. I keep saying that I need to learn how to golf. So maybe you two will inspire me to do that. But also like my For You page is like, it's so random, but it'll always end up being like parrots. Like I'm obsessed with animals, especially weird animals. And like, it's just like parrot videos every other time I swipe. But before we go, I've just loved talking to the two of you so much and really expanding my knowledge about your sports. But I would love for you each to come up with a sentence or a few words that's very like skating lingo or surfing lingo that the average listener might not know what it means.
I'm just trying to think of like me and my brother's like conversation when we're like just at the dinner table and like people probably think we're crazy. I would say, probably when like if we're like, if I'm like trying to piece together a run, I'd probably be like, all right, front blunt on like the out rail, and then kickflip in the bank, crook down the hubba, and then turn around, backside flip on the hip, back tail the ledge, and then kickflip down the big stairs. Like people probably be like, what? Like,
yeah,
they probably know maybe some of it. Yeah, so it's probably just, I would say a lot of skate terms in one sentence would probably be that.
And what does that kind of mean? I feel like I was able to get a couple of them, but how would you translate it?
So like it's basically, I'm like saying like a run or like for a contest. Like if I'm piecing it together and I say like front blunt on the out rail, just imagine like out of a ramp rail. So I'm doing like a trick that's a front blunt, which is basically just above on your tail. And then kickflip is pretty universal. I feel like a lot of people know that one.
Yeah, that was like
down
the
the hubba.
one I did know.
Yeah, I think crook down the hubba. Just know like a hubba is a box that's like bigger and like downstairs.
Wow.
And then the next one would be like a backside flip on a hip would be like basically two banks meeting and you skate like the corner of it. So that's what a hip is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's kind of like an easier way to break it down. And then obviously the tricks get more complicated, but I guess if you can keep up with at least just the obstacles, the obstacles never change. It's like the tricks do.
I'll be ready for the next Olympics. I'll be like, I'm ready to commentate. I've been studying since May of 2026 for this.
My parents try their best and they know nothing about what I do. And they're just like, do the kickflip manual down the road. And they like always say one word that like throws it off. Like they were so close to like making it have like make sense, but it's okay. It's probably better that way.
Yeah, definitely. Erin, were you able to follow her since you skate? Like, were you tracking what she was saying? You're like, oh yeah, this is just second nature. I knew what she was saying.
I feel like it's all like pretty like stereotypical for like surfers to be like, that was sick, gnarly, rad. Like I know those words are like kind of silly, but we use those words all the time. And for tricks, kind of following what you said, there's barrels, air 360, air reverse, cars, blowtails, floaters. I can't really come up with like, I was trying to think of like something like super surfy to say, but that's what I got.
What's a floater? What's a floater?
A floater is where, actually more things. The lip of the wave is like the top of it, like the little curve.
Okay.
And you like, it's kind of like a 50-50 on top and then you come back down.
Wow.
Come back down into the wave or on the other side of the wave?
Into the wave.
Into the wave?
Yeah. You don't ever want to like go out the other side because that would mean your wave is over.
Nice. Like you're exiting, like that's the end. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That one's good. Floater seems so interesting for that one though. I feel like I was expecting like a little air.
No,
I think of floater because like a float on a skateboard is just like floating downstairs without popping your board. So
that does make sense.
Wow. That's crazy. Mariah's first trick when she's surfing is going to be a floater on the waves.
Is that one easy? Is that one easier maybe?
I think it's easier.
There we go.
Might translate a little bit easier.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Surfing is on my like list for this year. I cannot even lie, but I just haven't found the right place to do it yet. Because I live in LA, but I got to find the right place to do it with some friends.
One of the like best places to go is like a wave pool because you're guaranteed to get like so many hours and like so many waves.
Wow.
And it's like you can change the level of the wave to how you feel. So that's a great place to start. And then you can like translate it into the ocean. Oh, our wave pools to us is like a skate park.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. That's cool. I like that.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So I love this. Just like, I can't wait to watch. Mariah, you need to start vlogging your journey of learning surfing at some point. And Erin, you're going to be posting your Get Ready With Me to go surf and beat everyone because I'm the Rookie of the Year. And I'm going to be both. Before we go, do either of you have any more questions for each other? I've just loved the fact that we're all getting to know each other on this call. Like it's been amazing.
I mean, I pretty much asked all the questions, all the questions that I needed to ask.
Yeah, I was just super stoked to meet you, and I just can't wait to see your surfing progression.
Yeah, the clips are gonna. We'll see how they go. We'll see how they end up. I'll post them when I do go out there, though. I'm not scared.
Please do.
I'll do it.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, we need a follow up. Like maybe I'll see you guys at the Olympics or something, and we'll do a follow up of this and see where we're all at. And maybe I'll try one of these sports, but I can't make any promises. Maybe golf. We could all do golf. The golf course together. Yes.
Just rent some clubs, go to the range, figure it out, and then just get out there, find your swing out there.
I'll take you guys rowing. We just need one more person, and we can go in a 4. Like the four of us. So
Rowers are super strong. I don't know if I have that upper body strength that I probably need to get upper body strength for both of these, actually. I probably need to do some more upper body for surfing and stuff. All of my power is in my legs, so I gotta figure that out.
There we go. Well, rowing is a lot of leg strength, by the way. That's a misconception about rowing. Is people think it's arms. It's a lot of legs and abs. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, I'm there. Let's get it.
Yeah, we're gonna another sport to add to our resume. But Erin and Mariah, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so fun. You both have really inspired me, just not in the way that you compete, but also the way that you represent women in sports everywhere. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks. The Matchup with Aliyah is an iHeart Women's Sports production, produced by Brittany Brown and Rodney Brown of Barbara Jean Productions. Supervising producer is Kaylin West at Realm. Associate producer is Amaya Brathwaite. Talent booking by Melissa Chuzid and Deirdre Dodd. Hosted by me, Aliyah Funschelle. Our executive producers are Molly Barton, Jerry Carita, Grace Fuse, and Jesse Katz. Our theme song is composed by Gramoscope Music. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.